Independence of Bangladesh, a bullet point history. The British ruled the Indian subcontinent for almost 200 years, and they finally left in 1947. Two countries were created, India in the middle and Pakistan with two separate pieces on the two sides of India. There were no similarities between the people of the two countries, except religion. They had different languages, different cultures, and different heritages. Even their attire and food habits were different. After 1947, the leadership went to West Pakistanis, starting with Jinnah. West Pakistani leaders considered East Pakistanis as second-class citizens and started depriving us from the very beginning. Soon after 1947, they attacked our language, but we fought back, and we were able to safeguard our beloved Bangla language. East Pakistan, which is now the current Bangladesh, had more people and had earned most of the foreign exchange. But 72% of development money was spent on West Pakistan, compared to the only 28% spent on our side. In every government office and administration, there were 5 times as many West Pakistanis than Bengalis. Schools, colleges, factories, everything was built in the West, with not much left for us. 60 to 70% of the budget was spent on the army, and in the armed forces, there were 25 times as many West Pakistanis than Bengalis. 25 times. In 1958, General Ayub Khan took power through a coup and ruled for 11 years. He outlawed all political parties and imprisoned many Bengali politicians. Throughout the 1950s and 60s, the Bengali politicians worked hard to bring back democracy and get their fair share. The major politicians included Maulana Bhashani of the National Awami Party and Sheikh Mujibur Rahman of Awami League. They wanted autonomy. Throughout the 50s and 60s, Bhashani even insinuated the idea of independence. Instead, the Pakistani rulers repeatedly imprisoned them. Bangabandhu spent almost 13 years of his 55-year life in prison. In 1966, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman placed a 6-point demand. It asked for a separate currency, separate revenue system, and a separate paramilitary. It was a call for total autonomy. President Ayub Khan put all Bengali politicians in jail. He launched a made-up conspiracy case against Sheikh Mujibur Rahman called the Agartala Conspiracy. The whole country burst into protests, and Ayub Khan had to drop the charges, free the prisoners, and was forced to resign. General Yahya, a drunkard, immoral womanizer, took power on the 25th of March, 1969. Yahya announced an election in 2 years. The first ever general election in Pakistan took place in December 1970. The Awami League got a majority with 167 seats out of the total 313 seats. For the first time, Bengalis would be able to rule the whole country as elected representatives of the people. But Yahya and Bhutto started to conspire. Yahya devised a plan for the most heinous genocide of the 20th century. General Yahya was careful not to reveal his evil plan. He postponed giving power to the newly elected Bengali majority. The whole country burst into protests. Millions of people took to the streets. The new Bangladeshi flag was raised on Dhaka University in March 2nd. On March 7th, 1971, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman gave a Gettysburg-like address to millions of Bengali people, where he declared, "Ebarer সংগ্রাম আমাদের মুক্তির সংগ্রাম এবারের সংগ্রাম স্বাধীনতার সংগ্রাম." The struggle this time is for our emancipation. The struggle this time is for our independence. Schools, offices, factories, everything was shut down. On the 25th of March, Yahya gave the order to kill 3 million Bengalis, one of the cruelest genocides in the history of mankind, known as Operation Searchlight. The plan was to arrest Bangabandhu and to massacre as many people in the shortest period of time. The Bangladeshi police and East Pakistani Rifles, known as the EPR, resisted the attack. The main objective of Operation Searchlight was to arrest Bangabandhu. Before the commando team took him away, he declared that Bangladesh was independent and urged everyone to fight to free our country. On March 26th, all major newspapers and TV channels in the USA reported the birth of a new country, Bangladesh. The next day, Major Ziaur Rahman reiterated the announcement from a radio station. Tajuddin Ahmed, a top leader of the Awami League, fled Dhaka after the siege and reached India mostly by foot. He met with the Indian Prime Minister, Indira Gandhi, as the elected representative of an independent country, Bangladesh. Tajuddin said, "India doesn't need to get involved militarily. We will fight our fight and win. Just help us with arms and training, and provide temporary shelter for our refugees." Indira Gandhi already knew about the genocide the Pakistani army had began in Bangladesh. She extended a friendly hand of support. Tajuddin got the top elected Bangladeshi politicians together in exile. On April 10, 1971, their official proclamation of independence was announced in Kushtia. On April 17, 1971, the very first Bangladesh civilian government took oath. Bangladesh was divided into 11 sectors, each with its own sector commander. Retired MAG General Osmani became the commander of the armed forces. Additionally, there were 3 brigade commanders, Lieutenant Colonel Ziaur Rahman, Lieutenant Colonel Khalid Musharraf, and Lieutenant Colonel Shafiullah. The war went on for 9 months. People from every walk of life joined as freedom fighters. 3 million people died. More than 200,000 women were systematically captured, tortured, and assaulted. 10 million people became destitute refugees in India, and yet we prevailed. In addition to the freedom fighters, special guerrilla fighters such as the Crack Platoon stoked fear in the minds of those occupying the Pakistani army. Bangladesh's liberation war became a global affair. Unfortunately, the US President Richard Nixon and his Secretary of State Henry Kissinger supported Pakistan. On the other hand, the Soviet Union and India supported Bangladesh. Although the Nixon administration helped Yahya, the people of the US, including many senators and diplomats, supported Bangladesh. Getting defeated by the Mukti Bahini everywhere, Pakistan attacked India on the western side in December. India got directly involved in this new war. The Indian army entered Bangladesh on the east side and approached Dhaka. The Indian planes dropped leaflets saying either surrender now or face the Mukti Bahini. Without any courage to face the Mukti Bahini, the 93,000 men army of Pakistan surrendered to the joint leadership of Bangladesh and India. Bangladesh became victorious on December 16, 1971. Today, we celebrate that victory. The victory came through immense pain and suffering. The overwhelming majority of Bangladeshis were in favor of independence, but there were some who helped the Pakistani army and killed their own countrymen. On December 14th, these traitors, called Rajakars, along with the occupying army, went on to pick up the top professors, top doctors, engineers, and other intellectuals and brutally assassinated them just 2 days before their surrender. Pakistan and their helpers in Bangladesh wanted to make sure that Bangladesh would never be able to stand on their own feet. 54 years later, today, with a lot of ups and downs, Bangladesh stands on its own, economically, socially, culturally, in education, in health, and in every sector of human development. Bangladesh is now miles ahead of Pakistan. Our per capita income is almost twice as much as theirs. This has been possible because of our freedom fighters, our leaders, and above all, our parents and grandparents who fought, struggled, and made extreme sacrifices to create this new nation, Bangladesh!